All right, let's welcome in Woj. So all parties are working together here. It seems like it's a fluid situation. What's the latest on Russell Westbrook right now, Woj?
Certainly Miami is going to check in on this, and Westbrook, I'm told, feels very positive about the idea of the Heat.
Here is a new update for the Russell Westbrook to Miami Heat trade. Now, there's a few things we're going to be discussing in this video. Number one, the whole trade and how it can actually happen. Because obviously there's been a lot of speculation about, number one, where Westbrook will head. We don't know if it will be Miami, but Woj has stated that Westbrook wants to play in Miami. Miami is very interested in Westbrook. They want to build a team around Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook in the Eastern Conference. So it's more than likely that that will be the team he ends up on. In saying that, I do not count out other teams like the Pistons, the Magic. There are a few other sleepers here and there. So I'm going to break down the Miami Heat trade. Number one, because I am a Miami Heat fan, so I know more about the Miami Heat than any other team in the NBA. Number two, it's the most realistic option he ends up on. And number three, I have a lot of information that I can actually share with you guys. So that's what we're going to do in this video. If you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new for daily NBA content. And let's get into the video.
Yeah, so Russell Westbrook would like to play in Miami if he's not going to go to Oklahoma City, and the Heat would like to have him. So what's the delay here?
The big question is, why hasn't a trade gone through immediately? If both sides are negotiating and Westbrook wants to play in Miami, Miami wants Russell Westbrook, what is the hold up here? And also, we're going to talk about the solution to why it hasn't gone through and what are the next steps to actually making this trade possible. We all know that Russell Westbrook is on a huge contract. And by huge, I mean the second highest contract in the entire NBA as of last season, behind Stephen Curry, which is just absurd. And that is the reason why his trade value has gone down, because teams simply just don't want to take on such a huge contract for the next 4 years with a guy that is 31 years old.
What's the marketplace? What teams are interested? How many teams are interested and want to really seriously engage the Thunder? Westbrook's contract, 4 years, $170 million. And so it is not going to be every team in the league where this will be a fit for them.
The Oklahoma City Thunder would ideally like to take on salaries less than his contract, which is $38.2 million, because the Thunder don't want to increase their luxury tax payments this season, which is a big deal for OKC. But on the flip side, the Miami Heat cannot take on more than what Russell Westbrook is worth, as they are hard capped at $138.9 million after the Jimmy Butler trade, and they won't have any space to sign any more players after signing Tyler Hero to a 4-year deal. But because the Heat will most likely have to send around 3 players for Russell Westbrook, which is 1 player, they would only be left with 12 players under contract. You can have at least 13 players under contract by the first game of the regular season, meaning that the Miami Heat would somehow need to find a way to trim additional salary to add a very cheap 13th player by mid-October, which would be okay for the Miami Heat to do, but it still leaves a little bit of an issue as to how they're going to get this trade through. Now, I'm not sure if you caught on to what I said before, but I said that the Miami Heat have signed Tyler Hero to a 4-year deal. Now, if you don't know what that means, it means that Tyler Hero cannot be traded for at least 30 days now. But obviously, the Thunder would love to get a guy like Tyler Hero on their team, and he's a guy that has dominated Summer League. At this point in time, he's averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.5 steals in Summer League, while shooting 39% from the field, and made 24 of 25 free throws in the Summer League. He is dominating, and I have said that he is the next Devin Booker, which I will still make a video on that. To all the Heat fans that keep telling me to make that video, don't worry, it's coming. But what that means is he will not be a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder if a trade happens in the near future, which leaves the Miami Heat to only select a few other young pieces that they can trade away. But according to reports, the Miami Heat and Pat Riley do not want to trade away Tyler Hero number 1, which obviously they have signed him to a 4-year deal, and they do not want to trade away Bam Adebayo, which leaves them with only a few options. Justice Winslow, Derrick Jones Jr. Those are the young pieces that they would be willing to trade away. And if you're the Thunder, it's at that point where you either have to accept that or the Miami Heat trade will probably not even happen. Because we all know how stubborn Pat Riley is. He normally gets what he wants or he just leaves the deal and nothing happens. We will negotiate a future trade in this video, and I will show you the third team that is interested into making this deal actually happen. But obviously Justice Winslow is a very good young player for the Thunder to get. Derrick Jones Jr. is a player that we really don't know what he could be, but he is still so young, and the Miami Heat value him really high. They were going to trade Goran Dragic to the Dallas Mavericks, but the reason why it didn't go through was literally because of Derrick Jones Jr., and that's how much the Miami Heat value him. And the Oklahoma City Thunder would also obviously get a future first round pick as well. But at the end of the day, if that's not enough, then I really don't see a trade going through, which is something that we will discuss later on. Now, there's two parts of this trade. Number one, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Miami Heat can have a deal in place, but it does mean one of them, meaning the Oklahoma City Thunder, because literally the Miami Heat cannot go over the hard cap. That is literally impossible in terms of the NBA rules. So it would be the Oklahoma City Thunder that may have to go over their tax bill, which they don't want to do, but they can still make future trades to go under that tax bill. But what's more likely is that there will be a third team, and a third team has emerged already, but this is not the only third team that would be in talks with the Miami Heat and the Thunder, but we do know for sure that a third team has been involved, and that team is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, what happens from here, and why is there breaking news in what is happening in between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Miami Heat? It's not essential for a third team to be involved in this trade, but it is likely that the Cleveland Cavaliers or any other third team will be involved. But at the end of the day, it's not unlikely also for the Miami Heat to make future trades, or even the Oklahoma City Thunder to make future trades that aren't involved in this particular trade alone. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder can trade Dennis Schroeder away, or can trade other players away. Like they recently just traded Jeremy Grant to the Denver Nuggets to clear up cap space. So it's not impossible for either team to make a separate trade, but if they put it all together, it would most likely be a three-team trade, if that makes sense. But at this point in a typical trade with the Thunder and the Heat, it is more likely that a three-team trade will happen here, and it will involve the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's talk about that, because that is something that I think is the breaking news out of this whole situation. So this is where the Cleveland Cavaliers come into play. They really want Steven Adams, as reports have stated, and the Heat obviously want to have enough cap space to get Westbrook, and the Oklahoma City Thunder obviously want to stay under the luxury tax. So this is the proposal as of now. I personally don't agree that this trade will go through and all teams will be happy, but as of the three teams involved as of right now, this is what the trade will look like. The thing is, obviously new teams will come in, they will try and get involved, try and get assets, things like that will happen. So, whilst the Cleveland Cavaliers are in talks now, don't be surprised if a new team also swoops in and tries to make a trade work, if they want to get a player like Steven Adams, or they would be willing to give up a pick, which the Thunder would then take on. But why the Cleveland Cavaliers are the perfect team is not just because they actually want Steven Adams. They have J.R. Smith, who has one of the most insane contracts in the NBA. And here's why. JR is entering his final year of his contract worth $15.68 million, but he is just guaranteed $3.87 million if he is waived, and this was before June 30th. Instead, he then renegotiated that up to $4.4 million if he got waived, but now he can be traded or waived at a later date, and this extends all the way up to August 1st, which gives the Heat, OKC and Cavs a lot more time to fill out a trade, which is perfect for the Miami Heat, because if they take on J.R. Smith, who they actually wanted at the start of this year's NBA offseason, and they only pay him $4.4 million if they waive him, then that means their salary cap opens up. But at the end of the day, it leaves all teams with what they want. Miami wants Westbrook, the Oklahoma City Thunder want young assets and they want to stay under the luxury tax, and the Cleveland Cavaliers want Steven Adams. So this is the proposal. Miami gets Russell Westbrook and J.R. Smith. And considering that J.R. Smith actually has one of the better contracts in the league, that is really, really confusing, but it's really good for a team like the Miami Heat, who can't go over the hard cap. The Cleveland Cavaliers get Steven Adams, which they obviously want, as he can pair up with their young core, as he's only 25 years old, and they also add in James Johnson in the trade to make the contract situation work out. The Oklahoma City Thunder receive Goran Dragic, an expiring contract, Jordan Clarkson, an expiring contract, John Henson, an expiring contract, And then they also get their young assets of Derrick Jones Jr., Justice Winslow, and a future first round pick from the Miami Heat, and another first round pick from the Cleveland Cavaliers. But this would be like a 2024 first round pick in return for what they got for Steven Adams. I believe that this isn't a bad trade. Miami gives up Goran Dragic, Justice Winslow, and Derrick Jones Jr., James Johnson, and a future first round pick. The Thunder give up Russell Westbrook and Steven Adams, which they're most likely going to give up anyway. And the Cleveland Cavaliers give up J.R. Smith, Jordan Clarkson, and John Henson, plus a future first round pick from like 4 years away. Now, while you may look at this trade and be like, why would the Oklahoma City Thunder do this trade? This is absolutely horrible. They give up Westbrook and Steven Adams. You have to think about it like this. Miami is not willing to give up Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo. So what other assets could the Oklahoma City Thunder gain from the Miami Heat if they were to make a trade with the Miami Heat? Literally no one. It is Justice Winslow, Derrick Jones Jr., and a first round pick. And to me, that is the only way that Miami makes this trade. I do not believe they will give up Bam. I do not believe they will give up Hero. And if the Oklahoma City Thunder decline, I believe he will not end up a member of the Miami Heat. But at the end of the day, the Thunder receive their young assets in Justice Winslow, Derrick Jones Jr. They also get a first round pick from Miami, another first round pick from the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs get their guy in Steven Adams. The Heat get their guy in Russell Westbrook. And I believe all teams stay under their luxury tax, under their hard cap. And I believe it's a win-win-win. But let me know what you guys think down below. If you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily NBA content. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And let me know if you guys want to see why trading for Russell Westbrook is a huge gamble for the Miami Heat. And I can explain why I believe it is a risk, and also a risk that could be a reward in that video. With that said, hit that notification button and follow me on Instagram. I am out.